Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. Tuesday, September 11th. Hope you're holding strong, even though the market is still in this bear mode. Prices are going down. Really big drop for Ethereum, guys. Ethereum is taking a beating. Now, I want to talk a bit about that. So Ethereum, obviously, is seeing a major sell-off because we had some kind of FUD coming from Vitalik, one of the founders of Ethereum, talking about the market will not see another 1,000% increase and so forth. Now, I personally disagree with that. Vitalik in the past has always taken a stance against the money and the speculation of it. He's more about the technology, the use case, the adoption, and putting his head down and working on the project, right? And he's seeing, obviously, the money come in, the speculation. So I wouldn't be surprised for him. He's just going to continue to have that type of sentiment and take that stance, even if it means the value of his project goes down. Obviously, I don't think he wants to kill it, but I just want to give you guys that perspective that, and he's in the past said this, like he remember, if you guys remember, he threatened to leave the Ethereum project because there was so much focus on Lambos and all of that, right? He was getting pissed off about that. So I just want to give some context to that if you guys have heard that news. But also, I think this is, and I know, some people are going to be like, what are you talking about, man? This is not good. I personally think this is good for Ethereum. Why? Because a lot of its value comes off the ICOs that are being built on it. And a lot of those ICOs are crap. They're scams. But there are some legit ones. So don't get me wrong. There are some legit ICOs. But we're seeing everyone building some sort of ERC20 token project. And I think this is a good sign to get a lot of the negative stuff out, all of the scam, low quality projects out of the way. But today I tweeted, guys, that this shows a chink in the armor of Ethereum. It shows a weakness, and I think Ripple, Codius, as well as EOS and Cardano, which are competitors of Ethereum, can now have a bit of an edge. So we have to see how this plays out. But like I've said before, the market's going to go through its cycles. Negative news is going to drive the price down, but keep holding, because when we look back at the trends, when we look at the facts of who's entering the market and what's happening, which businesses, what's to come, we are seeing all signs pointing to the growth of the market. And don't get caught up in in tunnel vision of, oh my God, of the moment. Don't get caught up in the moment, so to speak. You have to look bigger picture. What's to come? Where are we in this market? And I personally said I likened it to the 1993, where the internet is now rolling out. There's still issues. People are saying the internet's only for pornographers and gamblers, but we know, and those were for the most part, the first people to adopt it, right? But look where the internet has evolved to. And now, because of the internet, blockchain is able to exist. And there's a lot of projects and a lot of things going on, but there are going to be some clear winners. And you guys I've shared my thoughts on that. I'm long on Bitcoin, for sure. Ethereum, definitely Ripple. I'm most bullish on Ripple because it's disrupting a $1 trillion industry, real world use case, working with real businesses. And obviously, I hold some other cryptos as well, Stellar, Sia Coin, Proppy, and so forth. You guys have seen my portfolio, so I don't need to go through that. But I hope you don't panic sell or get weak hands or get frustrated, because you need to, and this is where you need to step back and not just think, oh, my coin just dropped or whatever, right? It's bigger than that. And one such news, and we've been talking about this for a while, the Nasdaq is said to be building a tool to predict crypto price movements. Now, what is the Nasdaq? One of the largest stock exchanges in the world. So we are seeing stock exchanges getting prepping and even getting involved in crypto. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. That's where patience is so important. But the fact that we are seeing this type of news should give you confidence and should help you to understand and be prepared for, okay, I may have to hold a bit longer than expected. But if you hold and have patience, you will reap the benefits, because look who's getting involved. Look at the moves that are being made. Remember, I always tell you guys, watch what the big money is doing. Watch what the businesses, the exchanges. If because guess what? The media is going to portray something, the charts are going to say something different. But behind the scenes, the moves are being made to set the stage for the launch of the market. Now, it's not going to happen on our timeline, or no one can actually predict when the market's going to take off. We're not fortune tellers here. We make educated guess. But as informed investors, we do our due diligence of looking at what's going on in the industry, who's getting involved, who's launching what, who's getting prepped to do what, right? And I hope you guys see it from that perspective. This is involve economics, businesses, and just your typical investing principles here. So let me give you some details. Nasdaq might be on the cusp of giving institutional investors an analytical edge on trading hundreds of crypto assets. According to a person familiar with the company's plans, the U.S. Stock Exchange is preparing to add tools for predicting the price movements of crypto assets in its analytics hub. The hub, which launched last year, draws on machine learning and natural language processing capabilities to parse through social media and other alternative data sources to give investors a better way to assess market movement. So a couple of things here, guys, why this is so great. First off, the Nasdaq getting involved, right? They have been on the record that they would look to list cryptocurrencies once the market matures. But in order for them to do that, what do they need to do for the big money, for the institutional investors? They need to build out the resources, the reporting, the data, machine learning to provide the tools for those people to invest. That's what's going on in the stock market right now, right? There's not random people just selecting stocks. Computers and deep learning machines and algorithms are all working on this, right? For the most part, computers are running the stock trading. There's humans behind it setting maybe certain limits or whatever it is, but all of it is computerized. So guess what the natural evolution or step is to bring crypto in? You need to provide the tools, the platform set for those folks, because they're not just going to be like, oh yeah, this coin and that coin. No. What are the chart movements? What's the historical data coupled with social media, as you mentioned, right? They're using social media to see the sentiment around the crypto market. So I hope you guys grasp that. And you can research, stock trading technology and things like that. It's all computerized now, guys. So this is a big first step. So Bill Dag, I hope I pronounced his last name correctly, Nasdaq's head of alternative data, told CoinDesk that given the abundance of interest, we are exploring cryptocurrency related data sets. Let's see. But Bill went on to temper the response, adding, whether or not we launch a crypto related product remains to be seen. Now, we've seen a progression in their statements. Once we will list it, once the market matures, and now they're investing in analytics and data sets and machine learning to provide that to their investors, because they can't just list it and say, okay, you can randomly pick this. No, informed investors look at data. That's why I always tell you guys to go back and look at the charts. Now, past performance is not guaranteed in the future, but if we're working on, we're not dealing with 100% certainty here. As I've said, we can be 90% certain, but we can't be 100% because no one can predict the future. So with all investments, there's a risk. That's why you should always only invest what you're willing to lose. But we at least can use this as a foundation, one of the factual data sets that historically, here's how the market has moved. Then we couple that with who's getting involved. We couple that with working products from the coins you're invested in, adoption, and so forth. So you look at all these things coupled together to be an informed investor, and okay, this coin, there has no working product, they haven't made progress, let's dump it, right? That type of thing. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So they are making moves, guys, and we know that the New York Stock Exchange parent company is going to be launching backed with Starbucks and Microsoft. That is fact. That is official news from those folks. That's coming in November. So you think the Nasdaq as a I wouldn't say maybe competing, to a certain degree, competing stock exchange wouldn't want to do the same as well. So it's happening, guys. It is certainly happening. And Also, the Weiss Ratings, as you guys know, also tweeted about this today. They said Nasdaq may be launching cryptocurrency price prediction tools. Sources say it will use natural language processing and machine learning to predict crypto price movements. We've never seen these kind of models work. We're highly skeptical. Now, that's their opinion, but this at the same time, this is a technology that's being used in the stock market and for other trading other assets. So I'm just putting it out there. I like to be transparent. So obviously there's caveats to everything. So let's see how this rolls out. But the fact that they're doing this, guys, shows the potential to come. So I hope you get that. Now, along the lines of stock exchange news, Malta Stock Exchange tweeted today, we are pleased to announce an MOU signed with crypto giant Binance to set up a security token exchange. We are becoming a leading crypto center of excellence. And of course, the Prime Minister is tagged in that. So remember all the stuff that Binance moving to Malta, all the meetings in Malta. Revolut just got approval to operate in Malta. Guys, big things are happening. Big things are happening behind the scenes. The market is tanking here, but look what's happening. Malta Exchange and Binance are partnering. Why? The future is cryptocurrencies are here to stay. They will be listed on stock exchanges. I can't predict when. It could be a year or 2 years from now or 3 years from now. Who knows, right? But the pieces of the puzzle are being put together, right? The foundation is being laid. So I hope you guys grasp that. This is very big, and we know there's a stock exchange in Germany, Börse Stuttgart, also launching a crypto trading app. So Jamaica Stock Exchange is going to list cryptos. It is happening. It is now up to you as an investor what you decide to do. Are you going to hold, or is this too much for you? Maybe you have to get out. Maybe it's not for you. But I know for sure the people who held before, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so forth, a lot of them became millionaires, right? I'm not saying we are going to become millionaires, but I'm just sharing with you what has happened historically. And if the trajectory is set right now with stock exchanges and banks and everybody, corporate America getting involved, what do you guys think is going to happen? It's going to go higher than it ever did before. And like I always said, markets move in cycles. There's bear and bull. So you have to understand that concept. And negative news drives the market down. We're in infancy stages. And once we have a lot of these, for example, stock exchange and mainstream adoption and, launches of like backed and listing of cryptos and this bank offering cryptocurrency, once those things actually go live, we're going to start to see the impact. Right now, we just have news that is being worked on. So that's where you have to be patient and understand the facts and maybe set your own timeline, right? We're based on this. Okay, for example, we know backed is coming, but we got to wait till November. Nothing may happen in the market till then. So that's why you have to have perspective and understand what's going on. Some positive news for Ripple here, guys. Royal Bank of Canada says Ripple and XRP can save financial institutions 46% per payment. Now, we've seen different percentages from people testing, and it all depends on, each bank is different, each payment service provides different. We saw, for example, Mercury FX talking about seeing 70% savings and things along that line. But we know the technology is real. We know XRapid will be going live, which uses XRP. And we know we have confirmation from Ripple employees, including the CEO, that banks will be using XRapid this year, as well as dozens of banks next year. So let me give you guys some details. A report from the Royal Bank of Canada says Ripple and XRP can save banks and financial institutions a significant amount of time and money. According to a report, blockchain at large can address pain points in remittance industry by removing middlemen, reducing costs, and increasing transparency. When it comes to Ripple and XRP specifically, the Royal Bank of Canada points to both Ripple's suite software products and the XRP Ledger as examples of how blockchain can disrupt the industry. Here's a quote. Ripple created an open source. Actually, wait, who's this quote from? Okay, it just talks about XRapid, XCurrent. You guys know if you invest in Ripple, but the fact that they're coming out, we're seeing more banks, we're seeing more payment providers coming out and saying positive things about Ripple. This is a great sign. This is why I'm so bullish on it, and I've said it before. So that XRP, once XRapid gets full adoption and banks and payment service providers and that volume kicks in, XRP will be number one in the market. And there's going to be demand for it. Its real world utility will be on display. This will be picked up by all the financial news and all the crypto news. So you guys know how this works, right? Because once you have real world utility and you have brand name banks and so forth and companies, and it's put out there, guys, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a game changer for sure. So keep holding on to your XRP. I know some of you are going to be like, oh my God, it's 26 cents. Sure. It's 26 cents. Yep. But what I just talked about, right now we're getting facts and news about it going live, but it actually hasn't gone live yet. So that's where, like I said, set your timeline, have that understanding and perspective. These things are coming, and we're getting confirmation on the plan and the timeline. So hope you guys get that the price can go back up. The price has gone down historically, has gone up, right? Gone down, gone up. This is the volatility of the crypto market. And right now, because of some Goldman Sachs FUD that's still lingering and some FUD from Vitalik himself, we are seeing everything is down, right? Everything is following big, except for Tether, which hovers around $1. Don't let me get started on Tether, but I'm not invested in Tether, so just so you guys know. Everything is pretty much down, right? Even Bitcoin from its all-time high of near over 19,000, near 20,000. So I absolutely believe, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, that there's going to be a bull run in October. I think I've mentioned the catalyst before, launch of backed Ripple XRP going live, potentially an SEC decision on ETFs. We have some crypto meetings with some government officials coming up September 25th. So let's see what happens. So I hope you don't get weak hands. I hope this doesn't scare you and you start panicking and dump out the market. And you just keep holding strong. Now, some interesting news here, guys, coming out from New York. So a U.S. judge says initial coin offering covered by securities law. So it says a New York man accused of raising money for coins with no assets. Ruling may be a win for regulators seeking more market control. So this is interesting. I'm still trying to digest this and wrap my head around it, because if it's good or bad, I think initially it might be bad. Long term, it might be good. But I still have to think about this from a different perspectives. A federal judge has ruled that the U.S. securities laws may cover an initial coin offering, handing the government an illegal victory in its effort to regulate billions of dollars in cyber currency offerings, much like stocks. The ruling came in a criminal case against a man charged with promoting digital currencies backed by investments in real estate and diamonds that prosecutors said didn't exist. U.S. District Judge Raymond Deary in Brooklyn, New York, said Tuesday that the government can proceed with a case alleging that an initial coin offering is a security for purposes of federal criminal law. So, a thought came to mind. This sounds like the guy was promoting an asset-backed coin, meaning that it was backed by real estate and diamonds, like what the Venezuelan government is trying to do, backing their coin by the petro or whatever it's called, with oil and gold and all of that. So that and that's where Ripple, I'm bringing Ripple here because of the conversation of them being a security, where Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple's always said, just because you have XRP doesn't mean you own a share of Ripple. That doesn't, you don't get dividends and payouts, and it doesn't give you a right to vote on the company items and stuff like that. It's just a token outside of the company that they use in their platform, their payment platform. This guy sounds like he was backed by real estate and diamonds. So it's an asset-backed token, which makes it a security, right? Because if you have that token, if it's backed by the real estate or whatever, it gives you a share of that. And once again, it goes back to the petro, whatever it's called, right? What the Venezuelan company is doing. And I remember the guy from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, was looking to do that with a hotel where they were going to do an asset-backed ICO. So this is why I think that judge ruled in that way. Most ICOs and platforms in the crypto market are not backed by any assets. It's just their token that they use maybe in their ecosystem. So now that I think about it, that just came to mind. I think this is actually okay because I get it. An asset-backed token, meaning giving you a share or right to some part of the real estate or diamonds like this guy was doing, that is for sure a security. It puts it in the category of stock. So this is actually not negative, so to speak. This makes sense because most ICOs, like I said, are not asset-backed. The majority, I'll say 90%, are just tokens that they use for in their ecosystem, fundraising in some way, but it doesn't give you a right or a share to the company. So just want to share that with you guys because this is going around, making the rounds for sure. And I just came to mind. So I hope you guys get that. So what do you think about this news, guys? Big news from the Nasdaq, getting the tools and using machine learning, building data sets. Why? Because if you're going to have investors come and buy crypto off of your stock exchange, you need those tools in place. Weiss Ratings talking about that. They're not 100% on board. Malta Stock Exchange, Binance partnership announced today, guys. Big time. Royal Bank of Canada had some positive things to say about Ripple XRP. And this case in particular here for an asset-backed token, ICO, was being pushed under the securities law because it almost operates like a stock. So I hope you guys get that. What do you guys think about this? Like I said, I hope you're holding